10 times your career trajectory, how to put your career on hyperdrive. Did you know that the top 1% of earners don't just make slightly more than average, they make 10 times more? And in this video, I'm revealing the exact steps you need to take to get your career growth into hyperdrive without burnout and without just hustling more. If you're tired of putting in the hours and not seeing the results that you want, you're in the right place. I'm Dalia. I help overworked, sometimes burned out professionals to land careers on their terms. So in this 5-part video, I'm going to break down how my clients make those quantum leaps. What are the exact things that they do that can take them from sometimes years of struggling to finally doing that one thing which 10 times is their results. So again, this isn't about just hustling more or working longer hours. You're probably already working plenty and you don't really have any time left to be working even more. So it's really about working smarter and not harder. And how do you get those leverage points so that you can get the big results that you're after with the minimum effort? And how do you do this? It's really about aligning your unique gifts with the marketplace so that those big successes actually feel effortless for you because they come from your natural strengths. Let's start with the linear versus exponential career growth paradigm. Before we jump into that framework, it's really important to understand the difference between linear and exponential career growth. Linear career growth is what most of us were probably taught happens in your career. It's that whole idea that you start at the bottom, whether with an internship or traditionally the mailroom, and then you work your way up the ladder until one day you have this grand success as the CEO or like one of those head honchos running the whole company. But we all know times have changed. That idea of the career ladder and that linear growth is becoming increasingly rare. So it doesn't mean it doesn't happen ever. It just means that it's less likely to happen for you. Plus, most of us don't even necessarily want that anymore. Like the idea of climbing a ladder is not even our goal in the first place. The big problem is that most professionals are still attempting to follow that linear path just because it's kind of all that they know. And that means they're working in a job, they're trying to prove themselves, trying to land like a 2% or 5%, or if they're really lucky, 10% salary increase promotion, which probably also comes with a ton of extra work. And they're wondering why everything is such a struggle. And then one day they even get laid off, and then they're wondering, well, now what do I do? Now I'm not even on the ladder that I've been working so hard to climb. But exponential growth works differently. Exponential growth means starting with your high value skill set, your superpower, that thing that comes naturally to you, that's easy for you, and matching that with the marketplace as well as your own personal lifestyle goals, and then pinpointing what is the thing that will bring me there as fast as possible. So it's a lot more focused on yourself and what you want and what natural abilities you have that are going to take you there versus attempting to box yourself in to this kind of approach that we think society wants from us, and we're all trying to figure out what exactly is the correct way in society to behave and to climb this ladder, and meanwhile that ladder barely even exists anymore. You are not here to climb someone else's ladder. You are here to create a career that reflects your own unique strengths and hopes and dreams because this is your life, so you get to do what you want to do. Now, I understand that there are a lot of external factors that do matter when it comes to creating the life that you want, right? In order to get the money that you want, to live that dream life, you're going to need people to want to give you that money, whether they're clients or an employer. And so you do need to match your goals and what you have to offer, obviously, with the marketplace if you want to create that exponential success. So the path to exponential career growth isn't about becoming marginally better at what everyone else does. It's really about standing out, becoming the best at one thing, or having a really unique blend of skills that's also rare and or standing out in the way online that your perceived value is way above other people's value. So there are tons of people out there who are actually amazing at what they do, but nobody knows about them because they're really terrible at personal branding. So when you think about your exponential growth, you want to think about exponential branding as well. What are the key things I can be doing online to share my magic with other people, get them to know about my magic so that I start attracting opportunities to me? To implement strategic specialization in your own career, the first thing you want to do is identify that unique skill stack. So think about what gives me a unique profile. That can be a combination of your technical skills, soft skills, industry knowledge, just personal attributes, and maybe you even have a really special story. The second thing is to research the market demand. Where is there a really strong demand for your particular skill set? Maybe you're working somewhere where that thing is very common and everyone is trying to do the same thing as you. For example, when I was studying journalism, we were all competing for jobs at the BBC, CNN, etc. And it turns out that if you just take a step away from mainstream media and you go into something that's still journalistic, but not necessarily those big names, it was a lot easier to get your foot in the door and to get a really high paid job. Think about where your skills are valued most. Sometimes it is not where you are right now. If too many people in your current industry have the exact same kind of profile skill set as you, think about whether maybe those, without you having to change a thing about yourself, if you would just step into a different industry, people would actually be really impressed by what it is that you do and be willing to pay you a lot more for the exact same thing. Number 3 is to develop depth in key areas. So really think about that exponential depth and which areas it would be worthwhile going deeper in. Not everyone needs to be a really deep technical specialist in just one area. You don't need to go out there and get a PhD. And of course, generalists are also highly appreciated in our society. We need people who have multiple types of skills and a wide knowledge base, not always deep, but at the same time, there are probably just 1 or 2 areas that if you were to go deeper into those, that could be a huge benefit. Just remember that strategic specialization, it's not about limiting yourself. It's really about looking at what creates the most value for others and for your own career trajectory. Hyperdrive element number 2 is your high value visibility. This is strategically showcasing your expertise and results to the right people in the right way. Many professionals make the mistake of believing that good work just speaks for itself. It doesn't. It's that thing of if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to see it, did the tree fall at all? If you are the best at what you do, but nobody knows who you are you really the best at what you do? Or does it even matter that you're the best at what you do? You're not getting that job, you're not getting those clients, you're not getting those paychecks for it. Now, this is where most people get it wrong. Creating visibility doesn't mean learning how to brag about yourself or becoming one of those really annoying people on LinkedIn who is always posting that they're so thrilled for all their opportunities. It's not like that. What it is about is thoughtfully documenting your expertise and results in ways that allow other people to understand the value that you're creating. Amy's story really demonstrates this perfectly. She had a master's degree in international journalism, but she was really struggling to find her place in the industry. And she was saying, like, I feel like maybe I'm just not good enough, maybe I'm not a great writer. And what she discovered was by linking her passion for writing with her other passion for craft beer, she created a really unique intersection for herself. And then she was able to start posting online about her experience with craft beer and posting some of her articles. And she was able to actually attract craft breweries to want to work with her and hire her as their content writer. And that confidence and visibility that she gained actually started affecting all other areas of her life. Her brother even told her, "You look way too happy to be at work right now," as she was heading out for an event that she was covering. And he was going, "Doesn't look like you're really working. You look too happy." And she said, "You know what? If you are happy with what you do, you never work a day in your life. To implement value visibility in your own career, start documenting your wins. You need a systematic process for tracking all of your achievements and positive feedback. And then you want to start developing your thought leadership. So start developing your unique perspective and expertise through your writing, through your speaking. And I actually have something called a LinkedIn post generator, which will write out all of your LinkedIn posts for you. And yes, they are unique and not cringy. So if you have no idea what to post on LinkedIn, but you know that you really need to in order to position yourself as an authority, get higher paid roles, and be an authority in your space, then you can check that out below. The third thing, which is also linked with your visibility, is to network. And you need to be networking with the right people, the decision makers, the ones who have the availability to hand you opportunities and to hand you money. Number 4, start creating visibility rituals. It needs to be a part of your regular practice, that you're not just getting stuff done, but you are showcasing it. There's so many ways to do that. I don't have time for it in this video, but like I said before, posting regularly to LinkedIn is a really important one. Value visibility isn't just about claiming credit where it's not actually yours. It's really about just making sure that the right people know what you're up to and perceive you as the best at what it is that you do. If you're having any imposter syndrome and you're like, I don't even know if I'm the best at what I do, that sounds like a lot of work to become best in the world at something, don't worry. You actually don't need to be the very best person in the world. You don't need to go and win some kind of a championship or some kind of a global award. All you need is for the specific people that matter to see you as being the best. Sometimes being the best just means that they know who you are. So yes, there might be a million other people with the exact same job title as you, but if those key decision makers don't know who those people are and they do know you and they trust you and feel comfortable with you, you're the best for them. They don't know those other people. They don't trust them. They would rather work with you because they know who you are, they trust you, they've been seeing all that stuff you're putting out there, you're visible to them. Just being visible to someone makes you the best in their eyes, if that makes sense. The next thing to make sure you're doing is strategic relationship architecture. This means intentionally building a network that creates those exponential opportunities and support. A lot of people network based on quantity. They just try to get as many LinkedIn connections as possible or hand out hundreds of business cards. But that's less important than having the right quality connections that actually, again, perceive you as the perfect person. Focus on creating the right support system that's going to accelerate your goals. For example, Sarah, who was working as a product developer, told me I had like a million different dreams and goals. I'm an ideas kind of person. But when she really pinpointed what her goal truly was, what her superpower was, then she was able to refine her list of contacts and figure out who was already in her network that she could leverage that relationship with, and then also who did she need to add to her network because they weren't in it yet. And after that, she started receiving job offers, consultancies, all kinds of amazing new opportunities. And she was in New York at the time, and she said everyone in New York within her kind of circle was starting to get jealous of her and starting to whisper, what is Sarah doing? How is she getting to go to all these amazing events? How is she getting all of these contracts? Before that, she was very much an invisible person. She was not putting herself out there. Nobody really knew who she was. She felt completely undervalued. So that's where these shifts can happen really fast. You get that exponential success that you're looking for when you really start focusing on the right thing. That brings me to the next thing that's really important to think about, which is your opportunity acceleration. Most people are taking a passive approach to their careers. They're waiting for opportunities to just kind of fall in their laps, just come to them one day. And often when those opportunities appear, they don't even take them because they don't even notice that they're there. Opportunity acceleration takes a proactive approach where you are looking to be prepared, positioned, and you're taking strategic action to actually increase your luck and become that lucky person where opportunities just fall on your lap. But in fact, you've put yourself in a position where those things were more likely to happen. And finally, you need to be thinking about exponential value creation. So this is not just about your network and your visibility and making those things exponential, but also about how you actually do your work. So in the linear approach, 1 hour of work would equal 1 hour of value. But in the exponential approach, you're looking at leverage, systems, and strategic positioning. So you're looking for that compound value over time versus just that quick win now. And that's where you see a lot of people that are just trading their time for money now. And, they get their monthly paycheck and that's it. But that job is really not leading them anywhere. And that paycheck is never going to massively increase. And some people are in an even worse situation where they're going to work, they're getting that paycheck, but if they get laid off tomorrow, they no longer have other good career options because they've been slowly dying in that job and getting outdated. They're not learning new technology, they're not growing, right? And if you're not growing, you're dying. And if they were to get laid off, they actually would not have that many other options. This also brings me to my point about AI, which is that it's so important to be thinking about how to create systems, use AI to leverage the hours that you're putting in and make those hours exponential so you can deliver more value with less time and effort on your part. So really start thinking less in terms of hours in, value out, and more in terms of what's a system I can create around the stuff that I already do to deliver way more value without me needing to put more time and effort in. So creating exponential value, like I said, you can use AI. You can also think about outsourcing certain tasks, using something like an assistant or a virtual assistant, or even start with those low value tasks like maybe the cleaning around your house, the cooking, things that maybe are not a part of your high value skill set so that you can put more focus on the thing that you're really good at. Obviously, there are all kinds of methods. We don't have time to get into it in this video, but my LinkedIn posts generator is one way that you can deliver a lot of content, but with minimal input and minimal effort. 10 timesing your career trajectory is not about working longer or harder. It's really about taking a strategic approach, start journaling, start really thinking about all of the things that you do on a regular basis, all of that time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, mental power that you are putting into your career every day, and thinking about what do I already do that gives me the biggest bang for my buck? Or what do I actually not do that I could try doing? Something that's not necessarily a massive effort, but could have a really big return on investment. Or what is that thing that I haven't done because it feels really scary, or it feels like too much of a big move, or too big of getting out of my comfort zone, and that's usually the thing that's going to get you to that exponential growth. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear below, what does exponential growth look like to you? What is that big vision that would require a quantum leap in order to get there? Let me know, and I'll see if there's any way I can help with that. And I will see you in the next video.